Right now, at this very moment, the Milky Way, and everything inside it, including you, is moving through space at about 2.2 million miles per hour. Not because we're simply drifting, but because something is pulling us. Something massive. Something we can't see. It's called the Great Attractor, and it is yanking our entire galaxy, along with hundreds of thousands of others, toward an unknown fate. If you think that sounds terrifying, it's because it is. The most unsettling part? We have no way of stopping it. It doesn't matter what humanity does, how advanced we become, or how far we try to run. Our course has already been set. The only question left is, what happens when we reach it? The discovery of the Great Attractor began with an anomaly. In the 1970s, astronomers noticed something strange. When we look at the universe, we expect galaxies to spread out relatively evenly, like droplets of ink dispersing in water. But instead, entire clusters of galaxies, millions of them, appeared to be flowing toward one specific point. This was disturbing. For a long time, scientists assumed that the universe was expanding evenly in all directions. But this data suggested otherwise. There was a force, an immense gravitational entity so powerful that it was bending the very fabric of space and pulling galaxies inward. More concerning, when they tried to observe the source of this pull, they found nothing. The region was completely hidden behind a dense wall of stars and cosmic dust, the zone of avoidance. Something was there, something vast enough to influence the entire structure of our galaxy, and yet it remained completely invisible. As astronomers dug deeper, the scale of the phenomenon became even more horrifying. The Milky Way is not alone in its descent. Every galaxy within 520 million light-years is falling toward this mystery, caught in an unstoppable current. This includes the Andromeda Galaxy, our largest cosmic neighbor, and thousands of others, all bound to the same fate. Our galaxy, our solar system, our entire understanding of reality, all of it is in free fall towards something incomprehensibly huge, something beyond anything we've ever seen. But here's where it gets even more terrifying. The Great Attractor is just the beginning. Beyond it, there is something even larger. Something that might just be the final destination of everything we know. What is this force? Is it a supermassive black hole unlike any we've ever encountered? A massive galactic cluster that will eventually swallow us whole? Or is it something else entirely? Something we don't yet have the knowledge to comprehend? Whatever it is, it has controlled our fate from the very beginning, and there's nothing we can do to escape it. To understand the terrifying power of the Great Attractor, we first need to grasp the scale of what it's already consumed. When we look at a single galaxy like the Milky Way, it's easy to think of it as an isolated island in space, but the reality is far more unsettling. Galaxies are not still. They move in enormous cosmic currents, dragged and influenced by gravitational forces that stretch across billions of light-years. And our galaxy, along with over 100,000 others, is being funneled towards something far bigger than itself. The Great Attractor is not just an object. It's a gravitational anomaly so powerful that it's pulling an entire supercluster of galaxies, something that should be impossible under normal physics. The Milky Way alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, yet in the grand scheme of this cosmic drift, it's nothing more than a single grain of sand caught in a raging cosmic tide. In the 1980s, astronomers mapped out the galaxies around us and realized that the Great Attractor wasn't just pulling on the Milky Way, it was warping the motion of everything within 520 million light-years. This led to an even more disturbing realization. The Great Attractor itself is only a small part of something far bigger. Scientists named this structure Laniakea, a vast supercluster of over 100,000 galaxies, all connected by this mysterious gravitational flow. To put it into perspective, if the Milky Way were the size of a coin, then Laniakea would be the size of the entire Earth. But here's where things take an even darker turn. The Great Attractor is not the final destination. When we expand our view beyond Laniakea, we find that this entire supercluster, this vast incomprehensible sea of galaxies, is being pulled towards something even larger, the Shapley supercluster. The Great Attractor was only the beginning of the mystery. Shapley is 10 times more massive, a true cosmic behemoth that dwarfs everything we've discovered so far. And once again, we don't fully understand what's lurking at its core. It could be an unimaginably dense collection of galaxies, a titanic gravitational sinkhole, or something even stranger. Something that doesn't fit our current understanding of physics. Whatever it is, we are falling toward it, along with everything else in our cosmic neighborhood, and there's absolutely nothing we can do to stop it. This isn't like drifting in a calm ocean. This is a cosmic riptide, an unstoppable force pulling us into the unknown. The question is, what happens when we get there? Will the Milky Way be torn apart by unimaginable gravitational forces? Will our solar system survive the journey? Or are we heading toward a collision that will reshape the very fabric of the universe? We still don't know. But one thing is certain, the deeper we look into the universe, the more we realize just how powerless we really are. If the Great Attractor is only a stepping stone toward something larger, what exactly is waiting for us at the end of this journey? The deeper we investigate, the stranger and more terrifying the possibilities become. One of the first explanations scientists considered was that the Great Attractor is simply a colossal concentration of galaxies, a dense gravitational hub at the center of a vast cosmic web. But even this idea is unsettling. A region of space dense enough to pull entire galactic clusters toward it would be unlike anything we've ever seen. It would be an arena of destruction, where galaxies rip into one another in slow-motion collisions lasting billions of years. And if our Milky Way reaches that gravitational nightmare, what happens then? Does it merge with hundreds of other galaxies in a violent, unescapable crash? Does it get torn apart, its stars scattered across the void like cosmic debris? But there's another, more terrifying possibility. The Great Attractor isn't just a dense cluster of galaxies. It might be a hidden supermassive black hole unlike anything we've ever imagined. We know black holes can be enormous. The one at the center of our own galaxy, Sagittarius A star, has a mass 4 million times that of the Sun. But what if instead of being the size of a single galaxy, this black hole was thousands of times larger? A gravitational monster so powerful that it has been pulling entire galactic superclusters toward it for billions of years. If such a thing existed, it would be completely invisible to our telescopes, hidden behind the immense warping of space-time it creates. Its event horizon would be larger than entire galaxies, and once we fall in, there would be no escape. Some physicists even suggest a more exotic theory, one that pushes the boundaries of what we understand about reality. What if the Great Attractor isn't a physical object at all, but a tear in space-time? A vast, multidimensional rupture pulling matter toward a region beyond our observable universe? This idea, though highly speculative, stems from the possibility that our universe may not be alone. Some theories of physics propose that multiple universes could exist side by side, separated by thin, invisible membranes. If the Great Attractor is an opening between these universes, then we might not be falling toward a mere cluster of galaxies. We could be spiraling into an entirely different cosmic reality, one where the laws of physics themselves are different, one where time moves in ways we can't understand, one where our galaxy, our history, and everything we know is torn apart and rewritten in ways beyond our comprehension. And then, there's the most disturbing possibility of all, that this has already happened before. If our universe is filled with gravitational flows leading toward massive, unseen voids, could these be the remnants of past cosmic disasters? Ancient points of collapse where entire regions of the universe were funneled into something we still don't understand? What if the universe itself is a constant cycle of creation and destruction, where galaxies are born, live for billions of years, and are eventually pulled into cosmic drain holes, forever erased from existence? Right now, we are falling toward something. We can't see it, we can't stop it, and we don't know what will happen when we get there. But we do know this. The Great Attractor has already rewritten the history of our galaxy. It has controlled our motion for billions of years, shaping everything we know, and it will continue to do so no matter what we discover about it. No matter what the Great Attractor truly is, one fact remains inescapable. It is pulling us, and there is no way to resist it. Our entire galaxy, along with hundreds of thousands of others, is being dragged across the cosmos, funneled into an inescapable gravitational current. We are part of a process far older than our species, far older than our planet, and even older than the Milky Way itself. But what does this mean for the future of our galaxy? And more disturbingly, what does it reveal about the fate of the universe itself? If we continue on this path, what happens when we finally reach our destination? If the Great Attractor is just an enormous cluster of galaxies, then the answer is inevitable. We will collide. The Milky Way stars and planets will be pulled into a chaotic, violent merger, smashing into other galaxies at unimaginable speeds. The process will take billions of years, but the end result will be absolute transformation. Our galaxy as we know it will cease to exist. The very shape of the sky, the constellations we recognize, the spiral arms of our galaxy, they will all be erased, blended into something unrecognizable. This has happened before. The universe is littered with the remains of galaxies that have merged, their structures ripped apart and reforged under the unrelenting pull of gravity. In a billion years, the Milky Way may not even have a name anymore. It will just be another lost fragment inside an incomprehensibly massive new structure, swallowed into the churning chaos of the Great Attractor's domain. But if the Great Attractor is something more, a supermassive black hole or worse, a gateway to something beyond our universe, then our future becomes even more uncertain. Black holes do not allow anything to escape. If the Great Attractor is a hidden gravitational abyss, then our galaxy may be doomed to spiral into the unknown, crushed and stretched by forces we cannot comprehend. Stars that have burned for billions of years may simply be erased in an instant, pulled beyond an event horizon so vast that entire civilizations could vanish without a trace. And if this is a doorway to another universe, then the implications are even greater. Could we be falling toward a cosmic boundary, a place where space itself is reshaped? Yet, as terrifying as all of this sounds, there is another way to look at it. The Great Attractor is a reminder that we are not in control of the universe. For all of human history, we have believed ourselves to be the architects of our destiny, the masters of our own fate. But here, on a cosmic scale, we are passengers on a journey we cannot alter. We are part of something much greater, something beyond our ability to fully comprehend, and that in itself is both humbling and awe-inspiring. One day, long after humanity is gone, the Milky Way will reach its final destination. Whether it merges with other galaxies, is consumed by a black hole, or falls into an unknown realm of space-time, we may never know. But what we do know is this: for all of our efforts to understand the universe, we are still at its mercy. We move where it takes us. We fall where gravity commands. And no matter how much we learn, there will always be forces beyond our control, guiding us toward the unknown. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, our galaxy is not standing still. We are moving, faster than we can imagine, toward a fate we cannot yet see.